Welcome to virus-induced pandemic. Virus-induced psychosis, more accurately. We've never had a pandemic before. The biggest reason is that the World Health Organization, the CDC, and the World Economic Forum changed the parameters in which a pandemic is defined. They've lowered it. They made it easier to have a pandemic, or to call a disease outbreak a pandemic. That's why we've never had one before. So remember SARS, remember Ebola, and all that stuff. Swine flu. No shutting down the world for that. But this one, we got to shut everything down. Yeah, it's really bad. It's terrible. Yet the death tolls are dropping, and the mask thing, which is completely psychotic. The CDC just put out things, 70% of the people who get this supposed disease get it with wearing a mask. So, go figure. This is what we're going through. This is virus-induced psychosis, is what I think it is. There is so much information out there that can enlighten the general public, but you're not going to hear it from CNN, ABC, CBS, all the NBC, all those. You're not. They're all censored. Censorship is a real problem. Facebook censored. YouTube very censored. Twitter, same thing. If you're going to come out with some data on showing how crazy this and nonsensical this pandemic is, they're gonna cut it out because it's dangerous. Like I said, in the past, there wasn't any danger about complaining about a pandemic or whatever. It's freedom of speech reigned for everything. It doesn't reign anymore. Freedom of speech is gone. That's what our country was founded on. People being able to speak up, to gather. The two basic things they've taken away from us. Don't say the wrong things. We'll arrest you for dangerous talk. Come on. So there's literally thousands of doctors who have come out against this pandemic, saying that it's crazy, and yet you don't get to see it. You have to go to BitChute. You have to go to the some of the other ones. What is it? Odyssey. You got to go to Odyssey. You got to go to ISE Media. And these people, they're not censored because they're their own thing. They're not run by Google, which was in fact funded by the CIA. And then we've got Oracle, again, another one that was, Oracle's first customer was the CIA. They, funded it. All these companies are all in lockstep. I know that's the term is being used for this pandemic, which is crazy. But anyway, what they did was the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, they got together, and for the past 3 or 4 years, maybe since 2015, they've been planning a pandemic. They've been going through all the steps, how we're going to shut it, how we're going to shut things down, how we're going to censor things. Do we need to bring in the military? They've got every step of the way. Everything you're seeing today has all been planned out and worked out and they wrote it. They made books on this stuff. Any coincidence that that's what's happening? And yet it's totally fake. They prepare for people not believing it and all this stuff. I mean, it's insane. At any rate, I wanted to list a few sites. I'll list it in the descriptions, and I'll verbalize them right here for people who want to know more, who want to see something that's not censored. ISE.media, look them up. They're great. daysofnoah.com. Very right on and very funny. So you get a giggle out of half crying and half laughing. Of course, bitchute.com, BITCHUTE, Odyssey, ODYSEE.com. Joe Plummer, he does Tragedy and Hope, a book that every American should read, every Brit, everybody in the free world should read this book. Or, go to Joe Plummer, where he breaks down the book to something, the actual 1,200 pages of the book, breaks it down to something that's readable and salient on the points. Joe Plummer, awesome guy. He devoted his life to exposing this stuff. Otherwise, we've got Claire Edwards does a bit of a rant, but it's all written out nicely, and she covers every base. She hits every point on the whole thing. I'll list that in the description. There's a thing on 9/11 I'll list in the description. Another total farce that is actually, this pandemic is a follow-up to. They didn't get the total results that they wanted from 9/11, so they're doing pandemic. And a lot of these sites, they enlighten us as to what's going on with the United Nations. Doesn't that sound nice and friendly? The United Nations. Well, the United Nations had their hand in the whole thing. With all the planning and encouragement. World Economic Forum, they're dancing, okay? They're like so happy that this has been so successful. Now here's their chance to get rid of cash, so there's no more cash for anybody. We've seen that already with no more coins, okay? We're taking coins off the market. They want to get rid of our cash so they could follow every single thing you do, everything you buy, everything you spend a dime on, okay? Little Billy mowing your lawn, he's got to have a card reader from now on, okay? You can't flip him a 20. Say, hey, kid, good job, No more selling lemonade on street corners unless they have a card reader, which, today's parents, what they'll probably do is give them a card reader, which is just totally sick. No more mowing the lawn, no more paper boy giving a tip. The world is just dissolving, and they like it, and they're happy about this because they'll be able to track every single dollar. You're not going to get away with anything. You're not towing the line. You're not playing our game. Well, we'll just cut you off. You don't get any more cash. Your bank account's shut down. No more food for you. So this is dangerous times. Now with the election coming up, there's a video. The last video that I'll list in this is they run down the apparent dangers of the talk of Trump not conceding if he loses, Biden not conceding if he loses, and the two extreme factions should be at each other's throats in the streets, causing havoc. And it's kind of a warning about that. Get prepared. But anyway, I've listed these websites and URLs in the description to wake people up and to help people. But man, question wearing a mask. I mean, there's so much evidence out there that they don't do anything other than control us. The hand washing is another nonsense. The disease itself has never been isolated. You do a search on Google or whatever, and it'll say, oh yeah, we isolated it. What they did, in fact, was isolate the SARS-CoV-2, which is a precursor to the COVID-19. So they're calling that an isolation. No, they never grew it in any human organs or flesh. They did grow it in a monkey kidney after injecting it with all kinds of chemicals. Anyway, I'm going to list this stuff. Election coming up in a few days. Be ready. Open your eyes. Don't let the UN take over our country and the whole world. We're the World Economic Forum. Okay, so long. Stay safe.